When you all are. We're going. 3, 2, 1, go. Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to D&D this week. Let's get quickly into it because I've got a lot to go through and not a lot of time. So last session, you faced Caracan and some undead knights that Yara summoned at the Masquerade Ball. Very quickly in the fight, Yara teleported away, leaving you all to do battle in this space. The pure rage and strength of Caracan was enough to knock down Galahad with some very high damage attacks. However, in the end, after many fireballs, some deadly smites, and a few slight cuts and bruises from your new ally, Hunter, one of the large statues on the side of the dance floor toppled upon Caracan, impaling him upon the large spear it held. And with that, Caracan's form went still once more. After the fight, you spoke with Councilman Ivan, and outside you met Lady Duforge, who also thanked you and commended you on your efforts. She seemed shaken, but she was still there helping others and making sure they got home safe. And she told Hunter that their debt was paid and that she was free to go. And we said goodbye to Hunter, for now. Upon heading back to the Cathedral of Pelor, you woke Priest Tyrion, asking him to get in contact with Doc to see where he was. Doc said he was okay and he should be home at some point. Upon getting into your own room, you found a figure awaiting you. Arcandius Rast, Archmage of Ambyr, and seemingly also Galahad's old friend, whom he fought with many years ago. He spoke with you on his involvement with Yara, telling you about how he was once her tutor and teacher, him obviously being the one who brought her into the Wizard's College all those years ago. He manipulated her and pushed her to perform a spell he was working on that might extend life beyond its limits, and believed she could do it due to her innate proficiency with necromantic magics. However, it backfired. Yara was hurt, and he was cursed with becoming ageless. The only way to get rid of this curse, for Yara to be dead. He fled the capital, but kept tabs on Yara and what she got up to. It seems their experiment caught the attention of the king, who faked love for Yara to get her to perfect this spell and perform it upon him. She fell head over heels for the king, but when she realized she was being manipulated yet again, she slew him and the king's council, and in undeath they served her. And so her descent into madness began. More recently, when the capital was being enchanted and wizards were being awoken in their slumber, Rast tried to dispel the magic, but this was all just a distraction so that he could be kidnapped by Yara's forces. They took him to the Shadowfell, presumably taking him to Yara. Thankfully, he was intercepted by soldiers of the Raven Queen, who took him in, and he's been aiding her for the past week in defending her fortress within the Shadowfell. She is now under siege from Yara's forces. Rast was sent here by the Raven Queen to ask you for aid. If you could kill Yara here and now, then the forces attacking the Raven Queen's fortress would be destroyed as well. And the Raven Queen would like to speak to you and be very, very grateful. Rast told you he wasn't quite prepared to fight, he wasn't the wizard that he once was, and after this he teleported away, leaving only a letter to Glyndon Althor in his place. Griffin, you then had a dream overnight. You saw a vision of paladins facing down a wizard upon a black iron tower in the Shadowfell, and awoke with one name being screamed at you from your axe, Vecna. The axe told you that Vecna was a dark wizard who wanted to become a god, became incredibly powerful, and the first ever lich. He traded in secrets of gods and men, and when the gods realized who he was and what secrets he knew, they turned his lieutenant against him. His lieutenant obviously killed his mortal form, and his spirit was sealed away by the gods, only his hand and eye remaining. The artifacts were separated, but it seems the Yara has control of Vecna's hand, a powerful artifact. If the hand and eye are brought together, Vecna might be released, and being who won traded in secrets, he may know a way into and out of Tiamat's prison in the Nine Hells. The axe made Griffin promise that Yara would not be spared under any circumstances, and any who wield the artifacts of Vecna must be destroyed. When you finally awoke the next morning, you woke to bells all throughout the capital, and despite your waking, it was still pitch black outside. It was only as you entered the main chamber of the cathedral did you hear that enemies are marching upon the gates, and the siege was soon to begin. Archpriest Solan gave Galahad a necklace of prayer beads, and Griffin found new power within his axe that it had shared with him. You were immediately whisked away by the guards towards the main gate where Councilman Ivan awaits you. This is a really long fucking thing. There's a lot to go through.
I'm sorry, I'm just look at what Luke's put in the chat.
I haven't seen. I'm on a different thing.
I'm sorry.
It's not even the names anymore. It's that nice name you nonce. When they were 900 years old, you reached possible not to be. It's not.
Possible not to be. That doesn't even make any fucking sense. Anyway, Doc, you also arrived back in the Temple of Apollo and found your friend no longer with you. Your hammer lay within the pool of holy water, and as you took it out, it radiated with new power. The voice of Apollo told you to face this army of undead and be a beacon of light against this army of death. And with that, we finally pick up the session. So,
oh my god.
Griffin.
The drums of war were sounding.
The drums of war were indeed sounding. And, actually, no, Doc. You follow guards to Councilman Ivan. You would arrive first. As you ride throughout the city, you can see panic setting in the crowds of people on the streets. Guards gather people and begin evacuating them, leading them towards the castle. As you ride through the streets, there's a fair bit of traffic, groups of soldiers and guards moving from place to place. All about, you can hear orders being barked and the constant sound of horse hooves and boots sprinting across cobbled streets. You eventually make it to the main gate near the river. Soldiers lined up in formation just behind it. A call is being given out to the guards. Front lines all their blades first. Make sure you coat the weapon good, but don't use too much. We need this stuff to last. Spears coated first, swords after. And you can see many soldiers working on their blades, smoothing the silvery oil over their weapons with whatever rags and cloths they have near. The walls themselves are about 15 feet thick and 40 feet tall, made of solid stone brick said to be carved from Mount Celestia itself. Or, well, of course, this is merely myth and legend, but it gives some people hope and pride in the capital at least. Around the base, priests of many gods bless the walls, saying prayers for its protection, but these may not do very much good. Doc, as you head to the tower top, you can see Councilman Ivan is currently speaking with a lot of people. All around you, you get the sense that there is a lot of sort of whispers and things of people being quite worried about about the current situation. Councilman Ivan is, as I said, speaking to a lot of people, and they're sort of shouting at him, basically telling him off, which is a bit weird considering he's the councilman of war. He shouldn't be told off. On this space is also Daviak, who spends some time spending his time talking to several sort of archery captains and things like that. After after sort of like getting up here and talking, a couple of the soldiers begin to sort of walk towards you, and they start going on about, oh, thank God, Cleric of Apollo, oh, Dokrumir, you're here, you're a guardian. And they begin asking you a million questions. How do we kill an undead thing? Are we going to survive this? Will you heal us if we go down? Can you heal all of us? Can you kill them all? I've heard clerics and just kill undead. What's that about? You know, can you bless the walls so they can't get over? And you definitely just feel this sudden weight of pressure like build over you as all these soldiers are sort of talking to you and basically just screaming 100 different questions at you. But before you can sort of get a word out, eventually you do hear the relieving voice of Daviak sort of push through the crowd, like, all right, calm down. Give the man some fucking room, would you? Doesn't have all the goddamn questions. Get back to your posts. Go on. And and Daviak sort of takes a step to you and, Doc, I'd heard you'd gone someplace interesting. Are you okay?
Okay, enough for this. Let's just get through today and then we'll see where we're at.
Well, today there's a army of undead coming out, so this should be interesting. Although as you look out, so to give you a sort of picture of what's actually out there, you can't actually see anything out there, but this rolling mist that's sort of pooling in on the fields and plains before you. Up in the sky is a massive eclipse, and all around this eclipse is these sort of inky black clouds. The eclipse is giving off a fairly white light considering there should be a sun behind it. Meaning that, well, definitely denoting to you with all of this that this is some remnants of the Shadowfell spilling into our world. Somehow Yara has attained the power or the knowledge to basically pull some of the Shadowfell into our world.
Bless you.
Bless you. Daviak sort of like takes a second to sort of look around and says, "Hey, look, them soldiers. No one's expecting you to save everyone today. Just, I know you're a healer and you're about Apollo and all that, but look, I've been in many wars myself, and Mazzy would tell you the same thing. You can't save everybody. This is war. People are gonna die, and it's pointless even trying because, well, you just can't. So don't take too much on your shoulders."
Yeah, but you got to
especially
try.
not.
Is anyone else getting all the background noise? Sorry.
There's a lot of background noise somewhere.
I think it might be you, JJ.
Yeah.
No, I think Matt's just put his hand up.
Okay.
No, I can hear it as well. Sorry, I was saying yes.
Oh, right. Oh.
You do sound a bit louder, JJ, than you normally do.
Oh.
So any better?
Anyway,
That's still quite loud, but
Yeah, but I can't hear any background noise now. So.
I think it's him writing.
Oh.
I don't know.
Is it like
Why are you writing so
is
loud?
your earphones like the speaker on your chest or something moving around?
No, I have a separate microphone.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know.
Anyway, after this, Daviak sort of places a hand on your shoulder and gives you a nod, and then goes back to speaking to some of the things. All right, now while you all off your post, go, you do this. He just starts commanding everything, and you're left just for a brief second looking out upon the fields, not quite sure what you're supposed to be looking at. About 20 minutes to half an hour later, the rest of you arrive. As you all arrive atop the wall, as I said before, 40 feet high, 15 feet thick, people gathered, like troops of infantry gathered around the wall. At this point now, a large sort of trebuchet is in the middle of sort of being constructed. Not really large, more of a sort of makeshift, actually, yeah, pretty small one, all things considered, mainly used to fend off forces a bit closer to the wall. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of room in this open area, and they can't exactly just go putting up massive trebuchets where there are buildings and everything in the way, especially with the space needed for a fully functioning one. But the one they have, you think, will probably fire a decent distance. Atop the walls, as you begin sort of heading up, you see Doc. Would be the first person, probably one of the first people you see. Daviak's still talking to people and getting people in line and helping coat many arrows and holy oil, and Councilman Ivan is still being berated and talked to by many of the other generals and captains and things like that. And he's just sort of sitting here taking it, just like arms on his shoulders, just like stood here looking up at them all, just like, yep, yep, as they're shouting him about something. You're not quite sure. What would you like to do?
Ah, Dokrumir, back from your vacation.
It's not a vacation.
I'm fully aware. I was being sarcastic.
Yeah, well, I haven't. I was hoping to find something that could help. Unsuccessfully. How was the call? I'm sorry to have missed it.
It was
quite eventful.
Yeah, it was something. Galahad lost a duel.
He
would say on purpose, but I think the man just had too much for it. Yeah, it was pretty uneventful actually. I think us killing all the wraiths stopped it from being a lethal affair, so that's good. oh, sorry, fucking Thingy rocked up, didn't she? Yara rocked up with some guards, and Karakan.
Karakan, yes.
But Balzanor, being the boss slayer that he is, fucking wiped Karakan out without a problem. He literally, all he does for the whole fight is he just puffs on a cigar, and then just at the end he'll just flick a fireball and just kill the entire thing. And everyone else who's sweated for the whole battle will get so pissed that he stole their kill.
I didn't really move away from the bar, to be honest. Unfortunately, the bartender left. But yeah, I had fun.
So, but we've got both rings.
Yes, I took quite a beating. I'm not used to moving without my armor.
But we got both rings on the twins, so that's
cool.
good.
We
were successful.
Don't think I would have been particularly helpful in that endeavour, but Apollo loves a try.
He does.
How was Pandemonium?
Shit.
Oh, that's good. Character building?
They built something.
Oh.
Probably just paranoia.
Okay. How about let's do this siege? We can get out of your system.
Yeah. It might be cathartic.
Yeah.
Let's do this siege against an army of undead. It might be cathartic, he says very casually.
It's all very fresh in Doc's mind at the moment. He's still just trying to process.
Yeah, Doc has had an interesting 48 hours.
How about a suggestion, as we're like a group, maybe next time don't just wander off and do your own thing. Consult with us dickwads first.
I mean, in my defense, you are a bunch of dickwads, so...
Yeah, no, I said that, and I'm very open about that, but you should at least consult the dickwad first.
Okay, fair enough.
I, for one, would have still encouraged you to go and do it. So maybe I'm not the best person to be scolding you here.
No, you are right. You speak sense.
Oh, thank you. It's this axe. It's up my intelligence.
Is that anything for your wisdom?
Nope.
Okay.
That was great. That was great already. Anyway,
as you guys are talking, eventually, Councilman Van realizes almost that you've come. He sort of takes a moment to look past him. If you lot would fuck off for 5 fucking minutes, I'm gonna go talk to the real saviors of the goddamn city. Jesus Christ! And he just like huffs away, pushes past two of the people.
Pressure.
And you can see Councilman Ivan now dressed in a full set of plate armor, like dwarven steel plate armor, spikes everywhere. Like the spikes on his elbows, ones on sort of like his arms, his shoulders, knees, like everywhere. And also his massive battle axe upon his back. Looking very like classic dwarven warrior. As he approaches, like, you finally made it, Dokrumir. Nice to see you again. Glad you turned up for this one. Weren't too busy shopping now, were you?
Shopping?
They said you... never mind. You're here. That's the important thing. Right. So, gents, I guess this is it. We had word that the army's just over the ridge. We saw hints of them, but this mist has blinded us a little bit. Anyway, all the troops and soldiers that you can see around you here, they're yours. Congratulations, commanders. You're stepping up. We figured if you lot are meant to draw Yara out, what better to do that for you lot to defend the main gate? That, by the way, being this one here. This one right in the center.
The one that's heavily highlighted.
The one that's heavily highlighted.
With our battle plan from like 3 months ago.
I will have Daviak. You will have General Daviak with you, of course, upon his own special request. And yes, these soldiers are yours. I will be around on the eastern gate. Western gate, just down here. So if you need a hand, we can give it. Though our soldiers, as you can see, are trimmed a little slim. And as you look around, as when he sort of says this, you do notice that this is a lot less men than you would hope to defend a city. Like, to put it in scale, this is less men than you attacked Northgard with, and even then you were stretched.
Oh shit!
Like, you have obviously all the city guard and all the everything, but they are, all these men are stretched in defending this wide area of a city because you're not entirely sure where they're attacking from. You want to lead them into this divot, but whether they'll actually come this way or not is entirely unknown. I hope you like the new additions. And he sort of leans over the side of the castle wall, and you can see where there was, like, outside this large castle wall, where there once was just like open ground and then the bridge, there is now a massive tree planted in the way, like this large old oak. And you can see several more dotted around this sort of like L, this like divot V that you're trying to get people into. There's about 10 of them in total. Large sort of trees of different sort of kinds, but generally similar sort of size, about sort of 20-25 feet tall, classed as like huge creatures, really. They're a present from the Feywild, thanks to Councilman Grandwind and your friend Mr. Stone. Sadly, the Seelie and Unseelie court in the Feywild are too busy to aid us in any way of actual worth, but thankfully we had some aid, and, well, if I'm going to be honest, I haven't actually seen these things move. I just came here and they were outside the city, so I hope they're good. If nothing else, they give us a little cover.
Are they ents?
He doesn't seem to know. He just knows there's trees here, and Councilman Grandwind told me to trust him. So I hope there's something, because at the minute they're just swaying in the wind. And yeah, I mean, you can make an investigation check or a nature check if you want to try and sort of deduce the tree's nature. Yeah, there's just something about these trees, the way they're sort of unnaturally holding their shape with what is quite a strong wind in and around this sort of area. The fact that they weren't here before, and they're not very thickly rooted as well, and just some sort of slightly larger barked areas in places, and strange formations of bark around certain parts do make you think that, yeah, maybe you've heard of these before, these great trees from the Feywild that come to life. Because this isn't Lord of the Rings, and because of copyright reasons, they're treants, not ents. That tree is important. I will leave you all to it, I guess. You have a handful of spellcasters here, archers, obviously, with General Daviak, 2 ballistae upon these 2 towers either side of you. You should be all sorted, and I'll stick you guys just on the map of where you will be defending here. So, this is the area you'll be defending. As you can see, in where your character sheets are, there should now be a bunch of that. You should have a new stat block, either archers, ballista, spellcasters, or treant. And obviously you guys all pick these, and you can see there are 2 spellcasters. These are the spellcasters, the feebly ones. The 3 archers, 2 ballista, and 1 treant in the front. There are also these many traps and things that I will ask you guys where you want to place them. We can assume that you guys, being somewhat, acting as sort of like generals, you guys can choose where these traps can go in this whole place. The only stipulations are these spikes can't go on the bridge. That's it. But if you guys had any ideas of where you want to go, so obviously this is just a barricade. It provides half cover to the enemy, but it means they can't get past it. They have to attack it and deal a certain amount of damage to it if they want to get past it. Spike traps, obvious. If an enemy walks into it, they get to make a perception check. DC 15 perception check. Otherwise, they fall in the spike trap, take a bunch of damage, and have to use half their movement to get out of it. And then this little dookie here, this is mainly for the spellcasters. Spellcasters, if you fire your arcane burst at this large gem, it explodes and deals a bunch of damage to anything around it.
Would it destroy the bridge? Just
Potentially.
ask for a friend.
Potentially, you don't know.
So, my stat box empty.
Your stat block is empty. Your stat block should be spellcasters.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be empty. Because I don't know if I've...
Well,
it can be edited. I see. Try it now.
It's no longer empty.
There we go.
Okay, so I got 2 of these boys. Cool.
Yes, you've got 2 spellcasters. For the purposes of this, so if you click on your unit, it will have in the red circle their HP, and in the blue circle the amount of X per day uses of a thing they have. So you have 1 stat block that does things for each of them. So they have the same AC, the same stats, basically. But when calculating individual HPs for these things, use the little circles. Don't try and change it in the actual stat block. You can if you want to, if that's easier for you. But either way, I'm not sure if I put... Yeah. And yeah, we'll get more onto that in a moment. So, as Councilman Ivan sort of turns away, he begins, and you guys can have a think about where you maybe would put some of these traps. Councilman Ivan sort of turns away and begins speaking to some other people. Many of the soldiers and archers and things come up and introduce themselves to you, saying how honored they are for to be fighting alongside you today. And there's a lot of sort of murmurs of like, oh, maybe someone saw something. Maybe we have a little more time to defend. Maybe this, maybe that, maybe the other. And it's around sort of this time, a little, maybe a couple of minutes later, that the mist almost begins to part just a little bit. And in the distance, you can see sort of these fading white lights, these tiny little fading white lights, just sort of maybe a mile away. And then as the mist, maybe not a mile, sort of like 3/4 of a mile, half a mile away. And then suddenly there is more of them, and more, and more. And you recall that the undead that Yara summons have these tiny sort of like white candles in their eyes. Yeah, JJ?
I was going to say, if we have preparation time, can I have ritual cast forbiddance, like gone down and like done it like basically just inside the gate to cover the area like around the gate?
Just inside the gate, yeah. Like, as in like on the walls as well, or just inside the?
It's like flat, so it doesn't go like up and down. It just covers. It's like got like a 15-foot height limit basically. I think it says. But it's like a 20 square by 20 square. So 200 by 200 square area.
So basically, like inside the gate on this side, yeah.
Yeah, so like anything that like comes through the gate is going to immediately start feeling the effects of that.
Okie dokie. Yeah, that sounds good. You sit by and begin sort of casting that. Some people come around and help you cast that sort of thing. That's perfectly fine. How long does it take to cast? Like 10 minutes?
10 minutes. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah, if we have preparation time, I'd like to have done that.
Yeah, you have sort of like 20. Between getting there and doing all that, you would have had about sort of 40 minutes before what happens now happens. So as I was saying, so this mist begins to part, and you can see all these tiny white dots, which you recall could be the eyes of the undead that Yara summons, as they are summoned with small white flames in their eyes. And as this mist sort of begins to part, you can see more and more and more upon the horizon. So many that it basically covers your entire vision upon the horizon, as far left and as far right as you can see in the nighttime sky. There are hundreds, thousands of these creatures, maybe tens of thousands. And they're all different sizes and all different shapes. And it just looks like this huge sea, this huge shamble of undead creatures way off in the distance. And they are slowly marching forward. A call is given from all across the walls to ready yourselves. Trebuchets begin sort of being loaded and launched. Ballista bolts are launched into place. Archers and things begin to get in their positions and sort of string up their arrows and things like that. You can all take this time to prepare to cast anything that you would like to cast upon yourselves or upon anything. And as sort of the time whittles down, they get to sort of within a little bit more distance, and you can hear a voice sort of echoing through the flames of the torches nearby, a fairly common enchantment to basically use a torch or some kind of flame as basically like a mic for people who would like to speak through something. And you hear the voice of Councilman Ivan. An army of death rides towards us today. They will feel no fear, no pain. They do not hunger or sleep or drink or love or hope. They will come after everything and everyone you hold dear. But we have one thing they do not. We have life. So let's show these bastards what life looks like. And as he says this, there are cheers and shouts and rallying cries throughout the walls. The walls suddenly erupt in a roar of cheers, and hope fills the space. But as this army sort of draws closer and closer, you still don't see the very back of the army. It's still coming. And now you can see light sort of flying in the air through the mist and the inky black clouds. You can see creatures that are much larger, large looming figures of ogres and giants and other behemoth-like creatures, monsters of all shapes and sorts. There are undead pegasi and griffins and giant eagles with barely any sort of fur or feathers upon them anymore. There are undead wolves with much of their flesh sort of sloughing off of them. There are undead orcs, some of which, Doc, you remember, and Balzanor, you remember fighting in the north. Remnants of their tattoos and things still sort of etched onto their bodies where around areas where they've been killed. There are undead humans and humanoids from many different points in history. Some wear armors that you don't remember from anywhere, almost like Aztec looking. Some wear armors of maybe that denote somewhere in Titan, somewhere in the Fracture. Many places that denote places here. And all of these beings sort of march towards you, and at about sort of 1,000 feet, they stop. And there's a moment of sort of silence, and a moment of calm, as people are waiting to give an order to fire. You can see spellcasters all along the wall holding spellbooks that are glimmering with light, and they seem to be concentrating on spells, you know not what. And then suddenly, the army of death, the army of the undead, which should not be able to speak, for no air fills their lungs. And many of these creatures couldn't even speak common in their life, but they do now. And in an astounding roar, this army of tens of thousands of undead calls, "We are the army of Yara. You are our feast. Join us. Join us. Join us." And they just continue this mantra of join us, join us, join us, as they begin to march forward. Pushing through their ranks suddenly are faster creatures, undead skeletal centaurs, undead wolves and drakes, and very, very fast, mainly sort of quadrupedal creatures that push towards you. But then, all of a sudden, about 700 feet out, they disappear into the ground. You get confused for a minute. But then all the spellcasters, in a loud sigh of relief, let go of concentrating on their spell. It seems they've been holding a sort of hallucinatory terrain spell to make it look like there was ground where there wasn't, and you can see many of these creatures have fallen into a huge trench of spikes. Many trenches of spikes that have been laid along the way. The army that marches behind them are now forced to move sort of around this trench into the small gaps that are laid behind it, at which point Daviak calls, "Holy arrows! Don't fucking miss! Knock! Aim! Loose!" And suddenly this cloud of arrows flies through the air, At their apex in the air, a radiant light shines from each of their tips, making this holy bright light cover the battlefield before they decimate the army below. And trebuchets are called to fire, barrels of alchemical flame upon the enemy, burning every single one of them. For a minute, this all sort of goes on for about sort of 10 minutes. And in the sort of, watching this all happen, it looks for a minute like you're doing pretty well. The army immediately stops. Maybe thinking they should stop, rethink what they're doing. But no, you realize they're stopping for a different reason. Skeletons begin to crawl to the front of the troops of Yara and begin piling on top of each other. Zombies do the same in front of them, creating a undead shield, almost treating themselves as like a structure. And with this, they push forward, barricaded, basically, from the many arrows that are being fired upon them, just enough so that their forces can push through the gaps created by the trenches. And now many of the army are just pushing through the trenches anyway. Doesn't matter that they get killed, because eventually they'll pile up so much the spikes won't be a problem, and the armies can just crawl over them. And very quickly this does happen. As all of these forces come towards you, we pick up with our part of the battle. So, where would you like many of these barricades and traps and things placed upon the battlefield? So let's start with the barricades. Where would you like these two barricades either side placed? Is there anywhere specific, or
what sort of range has everyone got? None. Okay, I've got 120 feet.
300.
Also, one thing I should probably mention, by the way, this map is in 10 feet squares, not 5 feet squares.
Okay.
Big thing I should have mentioned, yeah.
1,200 feet.
150.
I'm a trebuchet.
What have you got, Matt? Ballistas and trebuchet, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can hit quite fast. We could potentially have something on the other side of the bridge to stop, and we could pepper them. I know it doesn't help you, JJ, but I think you'll come into it later.
Ben, just a quick question.
Yes.
The bonus action that you've given me, is that what you then give that one icon? Like, you said that you've got the health, which is 60 when you click on the trebuchet.
No, so the trebuchet is the 1 per day thing. So once one of the ballistas has used the trebuchet, has called for the trebuchet, that's it. That's that one done. That's that call for that one done. So each of your spell, for example, the archers, they have one use of holy arrows each. The spellcasters have 2 uses of their arcane hex each, like for each unit, basically. So yeah, each one of your units can do that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
So these are barricades on the left and right, yeah?
Yes, they are barricades. To climb through them is incredibly difficult terrain. It'll be almost impossible to climb through them, but they can attack them and break them down if they do enough damage to them. And yes, obviously gemstone creates basically 20 feet of an arcane explosion all around it. So if you think, say, it's placed in a 4 foot by 4 foot thing, so it would create an explosion of about that big.
Okay, and then what are the things at the base?
They are just spike traps. So you place them on the ground, and they're covered by leaves and all sorts of stuff before the battle. And then any enemy that walks into it will have to make a DC 15 perception check or fall right into it. Upon falling into it, they take a bunch of damage and will have to use half their movement to get out.
Okay, what are we thinking?
Bear in mind, your mission is to hold out for anywhere between 6 and 10 rounds. When I did this over the weekend, it took me about 8, but I was using average damages and wasn't accounting for high rolls and things like that. So you have basically around sort of between 6 and 10 rounds to hold the fort. If enemies come towards the gates and make it towards the gates, that is stuff that your characters, Galahad, Griffin, all that sort of stuff, are going to have to mop up. So if units get towards the gate, the more units that get towards the gates, the more you are going to have to deal with. If they obviously get into the gates, well, thanks to Doc's Forbiddance, might not be too much of a problem, but that is bad guys in the gates. And if too many get in, the call might be given to fall back, which is obviously not very good. Also, your units can die.
Front foot up here. Anything up here is within Matt's range. Luke, what are you again?
150.
Okay, so that's within your range as well at the tip. I can't hit anything beyond this bridge. So we're limiting a third of our ranged offense. But it's just whether we want to... Maybe I'm thinking spike traps where they are at the moment is not a bad idea because they'll come over them and they'll have to go around them.
So you'd probably have to pull these back like a single square, just completely off the bridge. But yeah.
Can the barricades go on the bridge?
The barricades can go on the bridge. Everything else can go on the bridge.
Block a whole bridge.
One barricade does indeed block up the entire length of the bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense to put one there.
Okay. Do we
also, moving through the water for enemies is difficult terrain. Okay. So they will move at half speed.
Do we want to put the arcane thing like out here? Can you hit that out there?
No, 120. So I think I'm 10. 20,
I mean,
50, 60,
I can do up to 600 feet, but that's with disadvantage. So.
Yeah. Okay.
This is about my range, JJ.
Okay.
Where my opinion. So it's either got to be on the bridge or maybe in the heart of things here, like a get out of jail free thing. If we're really getting overwhelmed, I can just ping it and destroy everything. Hopefully.
I don't know. I was wondering if you wanted to put it like next to a barricade, or like just behind a barricade. So we stack up. They get stuck on the barricade. Barricade goes down. A bunch of them come through. When they're right next to the thing, you hit it, and that takes everything that kind of stacked up on the barricade.
Okay. Are we definitely putting a barricade on the bridge?
I think that's a good shout.
I think it's sensible, yeah.
Where around would you like it?
Maybe both of them on the bridge, and one of them at the top, and one of them just at the base here.
Yeah.
So like one of them up there, say, and then one of them, say, down there.
Yeah, and then Crystal either just in front of it or maybe back here.
Yeah. Crystal has to be in like a 4x4 thing, so we'll say either...
Are you a melee character, JJ?
Yeah.
So we probably don't want it too close to you. Okay, I think they're sensible, and then if you're getting really overwhelmed, it can just give us a bit of relief from whatever next wave is coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. Alrighty then.
For the sake of making it central, Ben, can you move the crystal over right slightly, please?
It's in a 4x4 thing. So yeah, that's technically central.
I hate it. Carry on.
I hate it too, but when I spent way too long fiddling around with the grid and everything like that and getting it right on the walls and things. So yeah, we'll go.
Let's go.
Now. So the way this basically is going to work is, so when we did the Siege of Northgard, I quite liked it when all of you guys were on a turn, so you could strategize on where you would fire, because it makes sense that this is, so your characters are calling out basically who shoots where, who does what. You are the commanders of the army that is being put in front of you. Daviak obviously leading many of the archers and stuff. You guys calling out for where the ballistas and trebuchets and things should fire, and you guys also aiding the spellcasters and telling them what to do. That's what your characters are doing in this moment. So it makes sense that you guys can communicate and deliberate between each other. So it'll basically be the enemies. It'll be their turn first because they are attacking. They are pushing forward. They're advancing the thing. Then you guys, as the defense, are defending, obviously. Then you will all as a group do your thing. So go for anywhere between 6 and 10 rounds. And basically, I say 6 and 10 rounds because I've got a lot of troops here that they could go through. This is a massive, massive army. So if we get to about sort of 8, 9, 10 rounds, you guys are just bossing it, then we'll call it there and say you guys held off the first wave really well. And the combat that your characters are going to have to go through will be super easy. So, and would be like thematically like an hour from essentially now, basically. Like you've held off the first wave so well that they're not able to make a good start at the siege. So, first up, the enemies. And you can see as the enemies sort of push through this space, a large, almost like vehicle, comes into view. Basically like a massive ram on wheels with a big hood, and then two sort of units at the sides, which seem like smaller sort of catapults that are able to be fired. So basically their turn is getting these units on the board. So that is them. What would you guys now like to do?
In major Minas Tirith vibes.
Indeed.
Who can hit
Not
that?
the inspiration for this at all.
Probably Luke and Matt are the only ones that can hit that.
Yeah.
What can you hit it with?
Arrows.
Ballista bolt and trebuchet.
I think if we can get that. I mean, I don't know if the ram is an issue yet, whereas the catapults could potentially harm us. So I don't know if you want to focus your fire on the catapults first. Do you have any flame arrows or anything, Luke?
No, I think just holy arrows.
Okay. Is it an undead battering ram?
No. It is made of just basically weirdly black wood. Like black and grey wood. Sort of gnarled and things. Not the greatest construction ever. It was created by undead thralls after all. But with the massive sort of oak that they've got swinging on it, and the fact that they've got pretty large troops within, larger skeletal people, like skeletons of orcs and Goliaths and half ogres and giants and things, and larger individuals beneath pushing it, it'll work pretty fucking well to take down the gates.
Okay. Right. Catapults? Can you both hit the catapults?
I assume so, yeah. Haven't counted it.
I think I can.
Can you hit the ram, Luke?
That's 600
Did you say you
feet.
got 600 long range?
Yeah.
You should be able to hit all of that, then, shouldn't you?
Oh, well then yes, ignore me. I didn't do my counting right.
Yeah, which one? So you have basically 3 shots, one for each of your troops. Which one are you going to try and hit first? Basically left or right?
Right.
Are you hitting the person or are you hitting the catapult itself?
I feel like an arrow against a catapult is not very effective.
It would not be very effective.
So
Things like ballista bolts, as well as the treant, these are, however, very effective against objects. So treant deals double damage to structures. Ballista bolts also deal double damage to structures. Arcane bolts deal normal damage. Archers deal half damage. So yeah, you can try and shoot the people. Of course you can. Yeah, roll to hit. 23 definitely hits, and 21 piercing is pretty good from the offset.
I think that's with disadvantage.
Oh wait, no, that's with disadvantage. Doesn't hit sadly then. First attack does not hit. Second attack, if you'd like to do the second ones, yeah. 17 does do it though. And that's 16 piercing damage. And third one, are you hitting the same people or no?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's really irritating.
16 does just hit, yes. So that is... Sweet. Anyone else doing anything at this point? Or can we move it along?
The catapults.
Yeah, if I hit fire the trebuchet, the one on the left.
Fire the trebuchet. Are you going to try and overdraw it, or are you leaving that?
Can I do that every time because it's a bonus action?
Yeah, so it's a bonus
so
action. You can do it every time. You have to make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw. So just click Constitution.
Yeah, I will go for that.
Yep. So click that. Oh. Sadly, that fails. As your men try and overdraw the ballista, the string snaps, and for whichever one that is, you have to spend the next turn of that ballista needs to be spent basically restringing it.
Yeah,
so that thing's out of commission for the next turn. To give everyone basically information, the ballista does 3d10 damage. If you overdraw it, it deals an extra 3d10 damage.
Yeah.
So it's a worth it risk. Definitely worth it, but yeah, obviously it's big risk.
I will just, for the one on the right, still aim left, and I will just fire
at the catapult or at the catapult. Alrighty. Oh, is that the trebuchet you're using?
Yeah. Wait, hold on a sec. Is that you say one day? I've only just read that.
Yeah, one per day. So you have one use of it per day.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Not wasting.
Okay. Okay. You're gonna try and just fire a ballista bolt at it, or
yeah, just the ballista bolt.
Yeah. 9 sadly does not hit either, as this ballista bolt slings wide. All right. The undead's turn. They are all going to move up.
Just going to bonus action each other with the arcane shield.
Okay. Yep. Arcane shield lasts until the beginning of the next turn. Gives any creature of the same size as you resistance to all damage and advantage on all saving throws. 5, 4. So they move up that way. And then I believe this thing can move.
Remember, Luke, you were the dwarves when we sieged Northgard, and you had like cannon that you only got back if you rolled a 6, and you just basically didn't roll a 6 for the whole thing.
Yeah, you rolled like a 6 at one time. Yeah, like basically near the end, and you killed off one thing after you'd basically won already.
Contribution.
So that's them. They're clearly moving forward. Actually, no, they might make an attack. So these catapults actually can wait for. $19. Oh, that's just under 200 feet. The catapult can actually make a shot. It's going to make a shot at the ballista first. That's a 15. Ballista's AC.
15.
15. That does hit. So that is.
Which one are you aiming at?
The right ballista.
Okay.
So that is 11, 15 damage to the ballista on the right. Ballista on the left is going to take a shot. That's a nat 20. 9, 19. That's 22 damage to the ballista on the left.
Oh shit.
That was a fucking good nat 20. And then these archers, I believe they can make an attack at disadvantage against. They're going to go. They would technically need to like move out of range here. They would like move. The soldiers all sort of like almost in formation, just swing out and take some shots against your troops. Nat 1 and 13, 15 for the archers on the left here.
That hits.
That does hit. All right.
And that's
AC of 15. They rolled weirdly well, which never happens. So that is 12 damage against the archers on the left here. 12 damage. Alrighty. JJ just sorting the thing out now. Cool. Should be able to move that now. It is now your go. What would you like to do?
Bottom again, I think. I still can't hit anything, so I think it's just you two.
Yeah, I guess fire again at the
purple guy here.
Alrighty, go for it.
What's
12.
your advantage range? Not advantage, but like normal roll range.
150.
Shit.
Yes, that's only like just across the bridge. Yeah, so sadly that doesn't hit. You can fire another two times with your... There you fucking go. 18 damage, and with that, the purple guy gets wiped out. So this troop of soldiers that are pushing this catapult forward and are manning this catapult, this troop of undead soldiers, just with this final wave of arrows, gets completely decimated, leaving this catapult here for any other of their troops to pick up, should they want to or be able to. But that should be that. And are you going to make an attack with the other archers? Or
Yeah, last go for the orange guy at the back.
He will have some cover from where... Actually, no, you have sharpshooter, so you don't give a fuck about cover. 15 actually does hit them, yeah. 10 damage. EOs. Alrighty. Ballistas, are you taking any shots?
Yeah, I'll because I only got the one shot from the guy on the right because the left's reloading. So we'll take a shot at the catapult again on the other side.
Alright, catapult or the catapult guy?
The catapult, I think.
Catapult, alright. Go for it.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Roll me an additional 3d10.
Yeah.
Because your damage is doubled against structures.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Oh, that's not the best. It's 22 though. Not bad. Not bad.
I cry inside.
Cool. If that is everything, assuming that's everything, then things are going to go. So everything's going to move up 5, 10, well, 10, 20. And these things are going to move up. So they would be there.
For the sake of me not announcing it every time, can we just assume that I've always bonus actioned Arcane Hex? Unless I tell you otherwise, it will just be the other mage. Yeah.
Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they can only go 4. The ram is going to make an attack against the barricade. So can someone roll me a d20 as basically a strength save for the barricade? You have a +3 to this roll. 17. Okay. It takes half damage. Good job, barricade. Probably should have taken the fucking 3.
Too late, you declared.
But yeah, fuck it. I'll be nice. So you take it takes 8 damage. For reference, this barricade has an 25 HP, but takes half damage from most things other than a massive ram. And the archers are gonna... They would still be a disadvantage, but fuck it, I'm just gonna take a shot anyway. Disadvantage. Misses. Yeah, that's gonna miss. Both archers miss you guys, and the catapult within range is now going to take some shots at the archers on the left because they're bothering them. But that still misses with a 9. Not a very productive round for them, leaving a catapult, sadly, just in their wake. Behind them, you begin to see troops, basically like squads of very, very large creatures begin just stomping through the battlefield. These very large creatures have behind them troops of skeletons with bows, and they actually would go a little bit in. I believe there. Yeah. Cool. You guys. You may go. What would you like to do?
Nothing is in range for me still, so knock yourself out, boys.
I'll go for orange on the catapult.
Orange on the catapult. I believe this is still with disadvantage. Yep. So, rickety roll for it. 13 doesn't quite.
How about 9?
9 doesn't hit.
How about 18?
18 does hit, however, with 15 piercing damage. Nice. Ballista. Your ballista has been restrung and things like that. Imagine like a round is sort of like more like 30 seconds, something like that. More like a minute. What would you like to do?
I think with each ballista, one's going to attack the big. It's a range. So an area attack, isn't it? Or is it just a 1 point?
What is your ballista?
Sorry, my
bolts?
ballista.
Your ballista bolts is just a one person attack.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then I'll aim for the trebuchet again. The catapult, sorry.
Aim for the catapult again. Go for it. Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah, 18 hits.
And then a D3D10 again.
3D10 again. Yep.
Better.
Was that on the ram?
Jesus.
that
was on the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Catapult. The next one is going on the ram.
So what? That's 34, 42. 42. Fucking hell, yeah, good shot. That one breaks a lot of splinters of wood going everywhere. And your other one?
On the ram.
On the ram. Alrighty. 14 does actually wait. Is that in disadvantage?
Range, isn't it?
Then you are. I'll take your word for it. Whatever the range of the ballista bolts are, I believe it's 120 feet. So
yeah. I've got to count this out actually.
I think you're just shy of. I don't know actually, because you're a bit further forward.
12. No, you are just in range for it. Yeah. So that actually does hit. 19 damage. Nicely done.
And then 3D10.
Yep. 3d10.
Oh boy.
It's not as bad as the first one I did, so I'll take that.
It's 50
Nicely
feet,
done.
apparently.
Well within
Easy.
range. Cool. Anything else by you guys, or are we moving on to the next round?
Well, if I fire my arcane burst, will that damage the catapult? Not the catapult, the barricade.
Nope. Your arcane burst is like a thing attack. The catapult will just have some cover.
Okay, never mind. Go on.
Okay, dokie. Cool. So can someone roll me a d20 for the barricade as the
JJ, you rolled well last
ram
time.
tries to destroy it?
Hey!
Hey, there we fucking go. All right, so half of. Oh, geez, that's terrible. 7 damage it takes, which is pretty good. It means it's held there for a lot longer than it thought. Skeletal archers are going to take shots. One at the ballista on the right, and one at the ballista on the left, I think, because they've been doing lots of damage. They're still at disadvantage. Yep, doesn't hit. Does hit, actually. So
Which one's hitting?
hitting the one on the right. As it gets peppered with arrows, it takes 10 points of piercing damage. Catapult on the left then is going to go for ballista on the right. It's also going to move up just that little bit, just to here, just to sort of around the edge of the water where it's just going to sit pretty and happy. And yeah,
That's the one I blew up.
So it is the one you blew up.
That's the one I destroyed.
My apologies. So that actually stays there. Actually, no, that goes away. I should have destroyed it. Then these troops are just going to start making noise. They've already moved 2, 3, 4, and they're just going to start trying to wade through the water. And these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, these are large troops. They can go 5 just here, basically. Up to you guys. What would you like to do?
Will it target matey boy over here trying to go through the water?
I can actually hit him from here. So if you could aim at someone else, please.
Sure. Can I fire a cloud of arrows, please, Ben?
Of course.
At orange, green, and blue.
Orange, green, and blue on the left. Yes, of course you can. So they need to make all 3 of them need to make a dex save. So orange passes, blue fails, green passes. So roll just the standard damage. So just roll like a longbow attack, and that'll basically just be the damage. So
nice.
2 of them managed to half 17, which should be 8. But then one of them takes the full brunt of the 17, the guy at the back. All right. Anything else from your troops?
Guessing I can't do that again.
You can. Each person can do it. This is like archers just going fire at will instead of... because it's the same damage, it's just instead they get to make a save to half it instead of you rolling to hit.
Let's do it again. 2 more
Only
times.
thing is, it has to be within your safe range. So actually, that's a good point. Is that within your thingy range? I don't think I actually... No, I just put this can't be paired with sharpshooter attacks, so fair enough. So yeah, which ones are you firing it against?
Same bunch again.
Same bunch again. All right, 3 more rolls. That's a fail. That's a pass. And that's a pass. So orange failed, green and blue passed. So orange takes the full 20. Why is it not doing things for me? There we go. The other 2 take 10 damage. Blue gets destroyed. Green is still there. Tucked in nice and pretty.
And then third one I'm going to do on the purple one on the right hand side.
Just a standard roll to hit, or are they... Do you do cloud of arrows?
Cloud again, yeah.
Cloud again. That's a fail by purple. Fail by orange. That was a 3, a 2, and a 1 from each of these guys. So that's, 3 fails. So it's full 19 piercing damage EOs. And actually that means orange gets destroyed. Nice. What are you arcane bursting?
Orange on the left.
Orange on the left.
I didn't see him,
choose a point, each creature in a 20-foot radius. Sphere send another point, DC 14 dex save. Rolled 14 exactly, and it doesn't have any dex modifier. So sadly, it does take half the damage. So that is 11. So anything else from
nope.
the troops?
I've had ballista fire.
Why is that noise?
That was a really weird noise.
I think.
Oh, Luke.
He's getting his griff up.
Yeah, ballistas. Are you firing?
Yeah, we're going on the ram again. One of them is going to fire normally, just a normal ballista bolt, and the other one's going to overdraw. One on the right's going to overdraw.
All right, so one on the left, fire normally.
Oh,
Hello. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
So roll another 6d10.
Oh, another 60-10 or 3.
Oh, no, well, another 3d10 on top of that because it takes double damage.
Oh my
That's 31, 48, 57, 67 damage.
If it does double damage to structures,
yeah.
So he's rolling 3d10 to make it 60-10. If it's a crit, shouldn't it be 12d10 total? And that's only 9d10.
Well, yes, it does.
So normal is 3.
Yes,
To a
yes.
structure is
So
6,
actually, roll
crit double
roll
makes
another
it 12.
3d10.
Another 3d10. Sure.
No, because 3. So it's already 12d10 there. So you've got the crit from the regular attack, plus the 17, plus the 19.
Oh yeah,
4 times 3.
Crit, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So
disregard the last 17.
Yeah, disregard the last one, but that's still like, what did I say, 67 damage? That's fucking insane. This thing's still up, but there's this just massive ballista bolt that blasts through the front end, creating a massive tear and hole in the side of it.
I already said I'll do it, so overdrawing the one on the right.
Overdraw, roll a Constitution saving throw, DC 10. I have a +3 to this roll. 9 again. Your ballista.
+3 to the roll.
Like the +3 is added on to the ability score that's already on there.
Okay, fine.
If you hover over it. So 9, sadly, the ballista string snaps again, and you must spend the next round repairing it.
Well, the other one made up for it.
It did.
I'm just going to go to the toilet while you guys have around.
All right. So
first hit on the ram, yeah.
That's not the first hit on the ram, but it's
that was the first. Matt's first hit was on the ram.
Yeah.
Okay, so the ram's taking the real peppering.
Ram is taking a real peppering. Can someone roll me a d20 for the barricade once more, please?
Luke or Doc.
Sadly, that fails, and because that's 7 + 3 is 10, fails. So we've got 7, 12 damage, which does it for this barricade. And that being the ram's action, it can move 1, 2, 3 there. And it'll basically try and destroy the gem on its next turn, you can probably imagine. This one's going to move up just behind it with its full movement. And as it does, take a shot against the ballista. Nat 20 against the ballista on the left. 10, 12. Alright, so that's 18, 19 damage. So that's... Fuck, maths. Maths counting it backwards, and I count upwards. It's got 19 left. This guy moves up. Five. And for the sake of this moving a little faster, I'm going to spawn things in, but I hope you forgive me. I'm going to spawn them a little bit closer in. So this here is basically like, you know those like people carriers in sieges, those large like siege towers, that's what they're called. It's like a large tower. You can imagine skeletons and all sorts of undead are just like idle inside, screeching and crying out to be basically let in. And pushing behind them are these large ogre-like, like large groups of these ogre-like creatures that are that are basically just pushing the thing across, and on top are groups, a larger group of archers. That's all the larger token means. It's just a large group of archers basically riding on top, firing off shit. right arrows are also going to go for the archers on the right. 14 plus 4, believe hits archers on the right hand side, so that's 10 damage to them.
Matt, they've started bringing siege towers in.
I see this.
Also, your catapult on the left took a crit.
Oh shit!
Now it's up to you guys. What would you guys like to do?
Did you take the damage off?
I did already, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Crystal go boom.
Crystal go boom.
Do I just have to expend an action firing at it?
Yep, roll to hit. You have to beat DC 13. Or AC 13 even. Oh no, you don't roll to hit with that one, do you? You just it's basically AoE, yeah. So you fire that off. Roll me 8d10 for me, would you?
I would love to, with pleasure. 8d10, yeah.
8d10. $38 points of damage. And with 38 points of damage, these things get to make a save. The ram gets to make a save, but fails, so the ram gets destroyed. And the units inside the ram, I'm just going to roll 2 for 1 on each side. So one of them fails. Both rolled 5s, so they all fail, taking 38 points of damage, which I will sort momentarily. That means also the crystal is gone, but you have destroyed the ram, the big thing that would have, well, obviously tried to bust through the gates. Still have a bunch of soldiers there though, and some ogres and some siege towers that are still left to be utilized.
So the one on the left hit the gem, the one on the right will do an arcane burst here. So that should get everyone there, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, that's good.
29. Oh, that is good. Fucking hell. So, blue, pass, red, pass, pink, pass, green, fail. So that's 14 damage, which for everyone who passed just keeps them in it, but for green, wipes them out. Cool. Who's up next? Who's doing what? Going for where? Going for whom?
I don't think there's any limitation on my cloud of arrows.
Yeah, I meant to put. I didn't do it last round because I'm an idiot, but I meant to put that you can only do the cloud of arrows on your non-disadvantage range. So to 150 feet. Because obviously then why would you ever not do that at long ranges?
Yeah. So I think these two and then these ones on the bridge should all be in my range.
I don't think no. Yeah, so your cloud of arrows basically does. I've already fucked up the archer one, but you can cover a small square like that. So 2x2 square basically with it.
150.
Keep that in mind. Apologies, I forgot to write. Apologies, my bad for not getting that down. I think I may have rushed the archer one a little bit. Getting that.
I'll start biffing up this guy here on the right, just with an arrow shot.
Just regular arrow shot. All right, go for it.
Yeah. I've just opened up the Navado by mistake.
Oh yeah, 21 hits. That's done. $11 misses, sadly.
Oh.
But 20 hits. Who's the 20 hits, sorry?
Same again, purple.
On the purple?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then 20 hits with 11 piercing damage.
Nice.
Nice. Cool. Anyone else at this point?
Ballista boy.
Yeah. I'm gonna fire with the left one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna fire the trebuchet. At basically this tower, purely because he's quite low on health, and I feel like best use it before he dies.
That's fair.
So that's a bit shit.
30. That trebuchet 13 on that tower. That doesn't hit the trebuchet, but it still does the fire damage to everything around. So it doesn't do the bludgeoning, but everything can still make a save against the fire damage all around it, basically. So I'll save for the.
That fires 4d10. That sucks
fails.
balls.
Yeah, that's a bit shit.
Fails. Yeah, 4d10. You are hoping for a bit more than 8 fire damage, especially for a once per day thing. You'll be glad to know that everything failed, however.
Good.
So at least you're doing 8.
Yeah, the guys on the right are just finding a ballista bolt against the other side.
Ballista bolt on who on the other side? Which one?
Sorry, the purple tower.
Purple tower on the other side. Yeah, that misses, unfortunately.
Oh wait, no, he couldn't. He was restringing. Sorry.
Oh yes, of course it was. Doesn't matter anyway.
Doesn't matter. He missed
anyway. Cool. So then we're going to move to the enemy's turns, and these guys are special because they have their little things, which means they are basically like commander ogres. 5, 10, 4, 5. They can basically just like heave these huge siege towers across the battlefield, taking those inside on a fucking ride. These guys are going to go 5. So, sorry. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And this guy can get to the same position just over here. All of these guys are going to move up. 1, 2, 3. And these are all going to take, just basically whack this barricade. That's a miss. That's an 18. And that's a 19. So those all hit. That's 2 hits against the barricade. 8. And 12, say plus 12 is 20. So already these things just start ripping down and tearing down the barricade, clambering over it, and pushing through, using their swords to basically pry off sections and just using their like skeletal claws to rip places off. They've done a hefty amount of damage to this barricade already. This guy, 1, 2, I think is as far as he can go with difficult terrain. And spawning in the back here, you can see now this horde of creatures, some of which you may recognize, coming in from the mist. The huge figures of the, I think they're called Deathwalkers, the massive things you fought way back when in the graveyard. They just begin like almost like hovering over the area. They walk, but they almost walk on like a cloud of shadow, and they walk almost like unnaturally quickly as they move through the area. And amongst them is just the glow of like ghosts, basically, just at their feet pushing towards with them. And as you can imagine, these things can they're ghosts, so they can move through shit. So good luck with that. You guys' turns. You have things a little bit closer to you. I forgot to do an attack with those 2 archers. That's my bad. Also, this one can technically move up. Just one more. So 2 attacks with the archers. Going to be against the archers on each side. So 1 against the archers on the right, 1 against the archers on the left. 1 misses. The ones on the left hits, however. Archers on the left, they take 9, 10, 11 points of piercing damage.
Which one's on the left?
Archer's on the left, yeah. Well, yeah.
Ben in the week.
Hmm?
Did you say something mean to Ben in the week?
Yeah.
Ben, if it's our turn, can I Arcane Blast? I've already rolled it. Can that be on the right so that it gets this blue guy and then the archer and the ogre?
I'd say because it's like a bridge, it's sort of like 10, 15 feet up, and these things are in the water. The blast wouldn't be able to get both of them.
Right, I'll just shove it in the middle of that then, and get
those
3 and the skeleton archer.
Well, because it's a 20 feet by 20 feet, so that would. Yeah, no, actually, no, that wouldn't be able to get. That would get 2 of them.
Which 2 of what?
2 of the guys in the middle, because it's a basically like a 2 by 2 square. So, pick which 2 you'd like to hit, basically.
2 on the right, pink and blue.
Oh no, sorry, I did write 20-foot radius. That is my bad. You're good. You can get all of them.
Okay.
Cool. So, all of them need to make saves. That's 1 fail, 1 pass. So red has failed so far, and blue has failed. Pink has lived. So pink takes half, but that kills them anyway. I'm going to be honest. Because of the amount of damage they took with that arcane thing, they all fucking die anyway. Just this arcane blast, just this torrent of arcane explosions destroying. This bridge is also like barely standing now with the amount of damage it's withstood, basically. Yes. The rest of you, what would you like to do?
It's been cloud of arrows.
Oh.
Purple and yellow.
Purple and yellow. Alrighty, let me just look. Something up real fast. Yep, roll that up, and I will look this thing up really, really quickly.
You keep putting your health down.
My health.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of clicking. Individual clicking.
That's me doing the clicking.
Ah.
I'm just checking the speed or something for the next turn because I have forgotten it. There we go. Yeah, that thing can move quick. Okay, so cloud of arrows. Those 2, roll it up. They need to make saves. Purple passes. Yellow passes. So 17 damage, half to numbers. 7 damage for each. So
What are you hitting, Eddie?
The guys on the right hand side.
Guys on the right hand side. Are you hitting them again, or?
Yeah, same again. Death and destruction, baby.
Alright, they need to make the same saves again. That's a pass and a fail from yellow. It's the pass from him to make that. But then yellow is gone. Cool.
That time.
Third time of the charm.
Alright. I'm just going to use the ballista
That's
again.
a nat 20 to pass.
Oh, sorry, so then.
Ballista again. Alright, go for it.
Well, 1 on the red and 1 on the pink.
Bring it down.
Does that hit?
1 on the red, 1 on the pink. 15 does not hit the. What are you trying to hit? Are you trying to hit the archers?
That
the
was
actual
left side, I think red.
The red archers or the red like
Sorry, I'm going to always
tower.
aim for the tower, but I'm just
The
saying
tower,
that
that doesn't hit the tower, I'm afraid. 15 doesn't hit the tower. As you fire your arrow towards it, you begin to realize this ballista bolt like pings off the side. You realize on the front they've basically like hammered and nailed in a bunch of shields and large wooden and iron reinforcements.
Of course, and then I'll do the same from the right to the tower on the right.
Alrighty.
Oh, that's even worse.
And that one misses as well, unfortunately.
Who's operating this ballista?
Apprentices, clearly.
Evidently.
Out of here is what I hear the cries.
Ben, can I quickly use my other arcane burst on the guy on the left's going to hit the orange troll?
Yeah, of course.
Oh! I wish my fireballs were that good.
Alrighty. 35, fucking hell. Alright. That was the guy on the right. He needs to make a save. He still fucking passes it. This guy's been rolling insanely well today.
He just thrashed about in the water.
Cool. Their turns. I'm assuming, unless there's anything else anyone wanted to do. Nope. Cool. So that's 10, 20, 25. Oh no, 30, 40, 50, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now things are getting into a bit of range. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can sadly only go there. These things move up. 1, 2, 3. But they can't go over the water. So actually they need to just take some turns going like that way. That's basically what they're going to do. Spend their entire time doing. I mean, they could go through the water. It'd still be difficult terrain. So I'd actually say that one of them is going to go over this one here is going to go over the bridge. And this one here is going to delve through the water and just pile through. And these guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can't end their turn there, so they're just going to get shunted over there instead. I'm going to say, and you guys are going to go 1, 6, 6. Got a big horde of them coming. A lot of melee focused ones as well. The archers on top of here are going to take some shots at the... Ooh, they've been seeing the ballistas do some work to them, so the pink one's going to go for the right. That's an at 1. Red one's going to go for the left. That's a unnatural 20. Given that there are more of them, they do more damage, as you probably very astutely figured out. So that's 11, 12, 13, 18.
I left blister again.
Yeah, so the blister again. So that is 18 points of damage. 18 points of damage to the left ballista.
1 HP.
Oh shit! All right.
And their dream?
He's got a big dream, but he probably won't be able to live it.
Big dreams incoming. All right. Cool. Another round goes by. Up to you guys once more. They're pushing in pretty close now.
Is there anything in range for you, JJ?
I have one thing I can do. I'm going to create plants and vines.
Yeah, apologies, JJ. I apologize.
Here's what I'm
thought these guys would push up a little faster. There. All right. So that guy needs to make a strength saving throw. He's been rolling insanely well all evening, but now he rolls a 10.
That is a fail.
Total. So that is a fail. So this guy becomes restrained. So all attacks against this ogre troop gets advantage, and that area becomes difficult terrain. So as you see this huge treant just sort of like basically lift its arms and plant its arms, like branch arms into the ground, and then suddenly rooting up from this space are vines and plants and roots that just begin to pull many of these ogres to the ground, binding them and forcing them to become restrained. Coolio.
Right. Arcane Burst. I'll do 2, and then that's 1 for each ogre.
1 for each ogre. All right. They get to roll. The restrained one rolls at a disadvantage, I believe.
We'll go right then left.
So the right one fails. The left one passes. So the right one, that's the 19. Have you rolled them already?
Yeah, 19 force on the right one, and then 33 on the left. So he passed. That's 16 on the left, and then 19 on the right.
Yep. So that's the one on the right's still up, but it's not looking happy. And then the one on the left takes the 33, half down to 16. Cool. Who are doing what now?
I beg that you actually hit a siege tower.
I really wish I would as well. So I think the one on the left, this is his last go, basically. No, he's definitely going to go an overdraw.
Boys, do it for the boys.
Going to do an overdraw.
Freaking he's out. He's dead. He's useless.
One on the left with all the damage it's sustained as it sort of pulls back, it just as there's just this loud snap as unfortunately it goes awry. It's always been so close as well, which is the really annoying thing. And the one on the right is on the right.
I think I'm going to use his trebuchet on the tower on the left.
Trebuchet, tower on the left. Alrighty, roll to hit the trebuchet.
Better than last time.
Think positive thoughts. A 22 definitely fucking does it. So it takes roll another 4d10 because bludgeoning damage, trebuchet, it's a siege weapon. It does extra damage. So that's 16. So that's 16 plus 13, 19, 29 damage to the actual thing itself.
19 fire damage. That's better.
And then fucking lots of things in that area need to roll saves. The ghosts take half damage because they don't mind fire. So the archer takes, in fact, the full 19 fire damage, to be fair. And then I'm just going to roll a bunch of numbers. That's pretty good. That's half. Fail. Okay, so that's out of everything that rolls there. So how many things needed to roll? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things needed to roll. 3 passed, 3 failed. So it's 19 halved is 8. So 8. You take 4 because you take half automatically. You take 4 because you take half fire damage. You take full 8. And you take 8. Nice! Pretty good round. Siege Tower's still up, but on fire. Actually, I forgot to add the damage to this Siege Tower because it actually failed. So it needs to be 38.
How big have you got?
No.
What do I have to do, Luke?
I'll shoot purple. With an arrow in the face.
At what point is shooting a restrained target from like 30 feet away not just bullying?
17 piercing, and that's enough to do it. As these ogres are like these undead ogres are like just trying to rip free of vines and all sorts of stuff. Just this final volley of arrows just silences them forever. And this area is still and will remain difficult terrain until the end times. Nasida, what else would you like to do?
Those were 2 shots aimed at orange, and I'm guessing only one of them hits.
Aimed at orange, yes. Sadly, only one of them hits. That's 18 damage to orange. Cool. Anyone else at this point?
That's everyone.
Nope, I believe that's everyone. Alrighty.
Could we maybe do one more round and then call it a night, if that's all right with everyone? Unless
yeah.
What's your reason? It better be good.
I've got to get up early.
Okay.
For you.
Yeah, I don't mind. That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
By the time we've done that, it'll probably be like 10:15 anyway, and then we'd have had like another 15 minutes left.
6. 1, 2, 3.
What's
4.
early? I'm curious.
Well, I've got to get up at 6, but I've got to get bag packed and lunch made as well.
You go.
Don't you usually get up at 6 though? Do you go to the gym?
Yeah, it's more the fact that I've got to do that this evening, and I want to do that and then go to bed, and not do that at like 11 o'clock and then go to bed.
Are you going anywhere?
Well, just because Had's parents are in India at the minute, she's with the dogs at theirs, and because it's Valentine's Day, I'm staying there. I'm also working in Leatherhead that day in the office, and then spending the evening with Hattie.
Hey, she.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So.
Only if you have a productive round.
Yeah.
Cool.
I want to see some activities flying.
There's quite a few things there for me to just,
Pepper.
Cloud of arrows.
I'm going to say, because this thing is fucking useless now, I'm actually going to use that one's token so I don't have to bring in another fucking token. Because, yeah, that one's fucking useless. Where is it? You get brought. How many was it? All of them, basically. No, I'm joking.
That's quite a lot of tokens on the bridge.
That is indeed a lot of tokens on the bridge. And more range tokens coming in from afar.
Wait, 10 to be done.
We have now just done, so we're on the 6th one.
Okay.
So, picking up with you guys, and then we will call it. So actually, no, I'll just roll some really quick damage rolls against things. So the first damage rolls, this thing way up on the siege towers, is actually going to fire against the... what hit them? The trebuchet hit them before, but that's trebuchet can't do shit. So it's going to fire against Luke and Matt, Luke and Sam. All roll me a d20.
This seems cruel. Fuck.
I don't know if high is. Oh.
There we are. Then the spellcasters on the left are going to get it first. So that's 11 plus 4, 15.
That is they have an AC of 11, so ouch.
12, 13. Oh god, that's 3 6s. That's 18. It's 21 points of damage. Halved, yes, because you have your arcane shield on yourself.
So, 10 damage.
Yep, and the right ones are going to go for... All of you roll a d20 again. I can't decide. Nothing's much has been done to them as of yet.
Oh, can you fuck off with your 18?
All right, I guess they're going to go for the spellcasters as well. So that is a 22 to hit.
Yes,
so that's
that hits my measly AC of 11.
So that's 10, 12. That's 18 points of damage.
Half to 9.
Half to 9.
Cool. Ouch.
Gotcha. Ouch, indeed. Right. Now we'll move to you guys. Everything else is a bit out of range for long-range attacks.
All area effects are going to be spamming the central bit.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pull out all my d20 for this one.
Can I launch so the one on the right is going to hit here and get all the ghosts, and then I guess the base of the tower as well.
Yeah, okay. So, I'll roll... Where's my last d20? Where are you, bastard? You're hiding in this box, aren't you? You think I won't punish you for rolling badly, but I will, so help me God. Right, so... That is... One of them was a d12. That's not the right dice, you fool. Get that. Okay. So that is 2 passes. 3 passes. That's 3 18s. But then a 6 and a 4. And then I need to roll once more. So what's that? 26.
What about actually hit here? For these 3 ghosts.
So you've hit these 3 ghosts with one of your arcane blasts.
Yeah.
And then the other ones are hitting just the tower, actually. So I don't need to roll one of them. So the tower failed. So the tower takes the full 26. So it's 44, 54. The ghosts don't take half damage on force damage. I don't think ghosts do, so they take the full 26 damagios. So that is...
And then can the left one just fire in the same bit again?
4. And the left one fire. And are the ghosts as well?
Yeah.
Are the ghosts? I'm afraid no ghosts. Because that kills all the ghosts. Even if they pass their save.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. Who would be up next?
Archers on the right.
Oh, I forgot to actually... Oh, I forgot to move this... No, yeah, I forgot to move this ogre as well. He would have moved 10. No, he would have gone... He's an ogre. It's an ogre. Path of least resistance would have tried to go into here. Have to roll a save against the trap. It's 16, but it's -3. So it does in fact fail. And these ogres are caught in a trap. So they take a bunch of damage. Someone roll me 3d10.
I'll do it.
But
I've done it. I've rolled 2.
I think we'll go with Griffins.
13 it is.
69 damage. Cool. And yeah. Alright, so yes, we were saying before, who was going
Archers
next?
on the right, they're going to use their holy arrows on this bad boy.
On that bad boy. That sounds like a brilliant idea. Roll to hit.
I didn't like the way you said that.
Oh, there we go.
That is within range, so yeah, that does hit. So that's 19 damage, and because it was the holy arrows, it wasn't halved at all, which is good.
And then other archers gonna do a little cloud on these guys over here.
Alrighty. Is that still with holy arrows, or is that just regular arrows?
Just regular old arrows.
Regular old arrows.
The thing specifies it has to be a single target for holy arrows.
Ah, yes, it does. You know my stat box better than I do. So, Ghosty fails, Big Thingy fails. All 3 of them fail. 3, and a 2, and a 4. So, 10 damage. But, because they're ghostly, it's half to 5. Do it again. That shit's non-magical. And do it again. Oh, Jesus. Fail, and fail. That was 3 absolutely dreadful attacks, or dreadful saves even, but they take half damage regardless. 16 and cool. Any more on the arrow front? I believe you're good on the arrows. Be the ballistae up too much?
Yes, of course.
That one on the left's got second life.
Left side is. I thought he'd be dead, but he's somehow still alive. But he can't because he's reloading. So right side is going to ballista the guy on the bridge, the tower on the bridge.
Tower on the bridge.
And
11 doesn't hit, sadly.
No, it's not. Is it? Yeah, okay, well, that was fun.
This huge ballista bolt just splinters against the massive shields and things right up on the front of the siege tower. Any more for any more?
JJ, can you like piss on that guy in the pit, or?
I don't know.
You will have advantage. They're technically they would technically be prone. I'll say you have advantage because they fell in the pit.
Oh.
If you wanted to just wail on them a little bit.
Well, sweet. I will do that. The tree can move, and we'll make 2 attacks.
18 hits, 13 bludgeoning.
The second one.
And 28 hits for 22 bludgeoning. Fucking nice. That actually kills Orange Ogre. So you just watch as this tree end with these like group of ogres down in this thing just sort of like almost like lengthens its branch arms and just almost slamming them down into the spikes that they're already in. So any that were impaled and standing back up just crunch back down. Like you leave when the tree end tells you to leave. Any more for any more? I believe that was everybody, I think. And with that, we will pick that up next session, beginning on the 7th round of this. It goes a lot faster when you just use average rolls. This didn't take me this long, but yeah, I didn't account for math, moving and things. Hope you're all finding it somewhat interesting. A little bit of a break, a little something different, especially with a bit of a shorter session. Next session, we should probably finish this off and see generally how you do.